in the if somebody is given scientific fact, and this was the experiment that they ran. Somebody was given, or a group of people were given scientific facts about other people in the group, but people still preferred to believe what other people said about. They prefer gossip than scientific fact. And again, why do you think that is? Why do you think we would believe gossip rather than fact? Well, because we've been gossiping for a lot longer than we've had science. Okay? So this is how we do it. Most of our decisions are social. Almost every decision we make has a social basis. Forget Maslow's law of Maslow's pyramid. Waste of time unless you're a caveman looking for a feed in a cave. The reality is virtually every decision we make is social. Has a social reason. We are the planet's most social animal. I won't go into it today, but that's part of the reason why our collapsing communities, villages, families, is of real concern to humans, because we need communities to live in. And I believe that some of these communities are going to be brand communities, but I won't bore you with the details of that today. So brands are built by advocacy. If you don't have a remarkable brand, then no one will remark about it. I mean, this is common sense stuff. No, all of this stuff that I'm talking today is common sense. Okay? A remarkable brand. Now, how many of us here can say we've got remarkable brands? All right? Because it's just common sense. If people aren't talking about it, it's because there's nothing to talk about. I don't go home at the end of the day and say to my wife, look, I made myself a cup of coffee during the day, because that's boring and it's of no relevance. You know, we don't. So why? You know, people come to me and say, Dave, we've got an amazing product or service, and it's just another product and service. We want you to sort of promote it and make it look good. Well, unless it is good, there's nothing to talk about. So we've got to look at ways in which we can truly develop remarkable businesses, remarkable products, remarkable services. So what's your word-of-mouth strategy? Okay, so this is what all this is leading to. What is your word-of-mouth strategy? Your intelligence is a minor player. Here are the four, God, bloody computer with its own mind. Inherent social drivers. So this is what drives sales, by the way. What's the social reason? You know, what's in it for me? Does it make me look good? There's learned automated actions like riding a bike. There's things that we do we just do not think about. That includes, by the way, supermarket shopping. Okay, we just go and we just buy the same stuff without thinking. Chemically induced feelings. So if my intuitive side of the brain sees something that it likes or dislikes, it's going to let me know that way, through the way I feel about it. And lastly, instinctive primal behaviour. So in other words, there's some reactions, like getting a fright, that we just can't override. So you see, the intellectual side of the brain really ain't in control. It thinks it is. For goodness sake, don't insult it by telling it it's not, because it thinks it can override. And it can override a lot of these things here. But basically, we're lazy. Most of our life is lived in the heuristic zone, and we're not even aware of it. And by the way, what happens is between systematic and heuristic thinking, it's never one or the other. It's a wonderful blend, backwards and forwards. All right? No one buys what you sell. Selling is dead. They buy what you stand for. Okay? So you've got to have a reason for being, particularly now when there's so much competition. And that's how consumers are making decisions. They're looking at products and services and saying, what's in it for me? What do you guys stand for? All right? If you think about chemist shops, I could take you into any chemist shop anywhere, blindfolded, take the blindfold off, you'd tell me straight away where you were. In a chemist shop. Anita Roddick changed that paradigm. There are people out there changing paradigms. All right? So what's happening now is that we are more and more aware of what products and services stand for. Okay. By the way, when things get tough, like it is at the moment, what businesses tend to do is they make a decision that they're going to discount. This is just a little being in the same building as Ernst & Young, a little equation that's really interesting. If you decided you wanted to take 10% off your products and services, but just to stand still, in other words, not to stand still as a business, you'd have to sell 25% more product, okay, by taking 10% off. Right, this is called buying your way into the market. And let's face it, who's going to get out of bed for 10%? Nobody in this day and age. So what happens if you went 20%? You're going to have to sell 67% more product in order to just stay doing the same level of business. Okay? 25%, you've got to double your sales. All right? So the message here is not a smart way to try and get yourself into a marketplace, and every business does it. As soon as the times get tough, let's discount. Let's try and buy our way back into the market. And of course, you and I as consumers have a field day, but it does nothing for business. You know, what we should be doing is going the other way and adding value, and the smart businesses are. This is another little interesting equation around money. Who's spending whose money? This is another. This actually shows you how easy it is to extract dollars out of someone's money, out of someone's wallet. If you're spending your own money on yourself, that's the hardest dollar to get out of anyone's pocket. Okay, I'm hanging on to it. I'm going to take a lot of care how I spend that dollar. All right? But if I'm spending somebody else's money on me, yeah, that's a bit harder. It's hard, but it's not as hard as if it's my money being spent on me. If it's someone else's, if it's my own money being spent on someone else, yeah, I find it pretty easy to spend those sorts of dollars. And last of all, if it's someone else's money that I'm spending on someone else, that's real easy. I don't really think about that. What organisations tend to be down in this spending someone else's money on someone else? Government departments, okay, which is why we get so upset, isn't it? You know, because they're spending someone else's money on someone else, and they don't seem to appreciate that it's our money that they're spending. So find out whose money's being spent on who, and that will tell you a little bit about how easy it's going to be to make the sale. Okay. Now these are what I call the four gates. You have to go through these four gates in any sales situation. All right, and it has to be in this order. It's real simple. First of all, you've got to be in their space. You've got to make sure. It's pointless if I go trout fishing on a river with no fish in it. I don't care how good a fisherman I am or anyone else is, you ain't catching fish because there are no fish there. You know, again, TVNZ will tell you about that. Go fishing where the fish are. All right, they can tell you where the audiences are. Be in their space. Second thing is, grab their attention. Now this is where, up until now, ad agencies are right with us, okay? But beyond here, this is where ad agencies, in my opinion, tend to struggle. Okay, grab your attention. It's about one say, whoa, look at me, okay? So if you haven't grabbed someone's attention, you're in trouble. The next thing is you need to be of relevance, all right? And that's about value and meaning. Remember we talked about that earlier on? Value and meaning. Be of relevance. And the last thing is retention. Cause people to take action, even if it's only to remember who and what you are. Really important. Those four things. If you're going to make a sale, you've got to go through those four gates in that order. Get it out of order, and you're going to struggle. Yeah, simple stuff. Okay. So the question is, what's a brand? I get asked this all the time. What is a brand? And the only explanation, or the best explanation that I can give, and everyone's got a different idea of what a brand is it's just a reputation. All right, that's all it is. It's brand is a reputation. And it resides in other people's minds. So therefore, we've got to think about what that means. What is a reputation usually encase? What does it entail? I mean, what aspects, what attributes are there to reputations? How you dress, yeah? How you behave, what you say, what you don't say, who you hang out with, where you hang out, who you don't hang out with, where you don't hang out. All of those things, yeah, would be critical parts of building a reputation. Yeah?
It's also about what people say about you, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So reputations are built around a number of different things. All right.